Hi, I'm Olga S. Pérez, coming at you live, unleashing the power of perspective, one reaction at a time. I've been a life strategist for over 20 years, and I'm here to share my insights on trending topics, current news, and music videos that we all want to talk about with love and humor. With love and humor, baby. How you doing? How's everybody doing on this fabulous day? Because why is it not a fabulous day? I mean, I hope you're having a great day, right? Hey, what's up? So, I haven't seen the latest drop from Tom McDonald. Want to. Looks like it's been doing really well. But I'm also waiting for you, members, become a member. If you haven't become a member already, become a member here on the BoobTube, or definitely, without fail, it's buying me a coffee over on Locals. I'll always do the restreams over there. That's where I'm completely uncensored, unfiltered, and you're going to get more intel and my insight and opinions over there that you're not going to get anywhere else but on Locals, baby. So join me there. The link is in the description below. I'll put it in the live chat as well later. But hey, welcome everyone. And I am live on X, aka Twitter, Rumble, and right here on the BoobTube. So yeah, make sure to comment. Your comments are my fuel. I do read them and I will respond. So yeah, but if I get a red one today, okay, I'll stop what I'm doing and do your choice of live reaction. I'm thinking, especially if you're a Tom lover, what's up, baby? Spread the love, because I'm constantly getting shadow banned, blocked, demonetized, like the videos, copyright, whatever. But hey, that's the price you pay when you do lives and you want to be real. In fact, talk about real. The story of today, Tenet Media. Russians funded them $10 million and nobody asked any questions. All these people. Oh my God. I mean, Tim Pool. Oh, I mean, you know how I feel about Tim Pool if you don't know. I keep telling you people. I keep saying these people are shills. They're fakes. I don't even think they bring anything good. I really don't. Like, I don't see them improving the world, the country. Just saying, or even individuals. Just you know where I'm coming from. Okay. So I don't know if I can say I'm loving this. It's just that when I keep pointing out these people are fake, this is the epitome right here. Now, here's the other thing. Is it really Russian funded, or is it a deep state situation here? I mean, at this point, who hasn't already heard the story or look it up? I'm going to share a couple articles, and then, we're going to dive into it. And my perspective, instinctually, I'm not surprised at all. I don't know why everybody's shocked. I wasn't surprised, but I go, you know what? Hopefully this opens people's eyes to realizing how even the people that are criticizing the government, politics, right? The culture battles, right? That they are just as easily corrupted for money, right? And that's why, I told you, I will not change my standards. Like my sponsors, like whoever has reached out to me, if I haven't had a sponsor yet, it's because I don't feel that they're in alignment with me and what I believe in and what I do. And, whether they're these sponsors that have approached me so far, whether they're really a product or service that I really think is good for you. I don't care about the money. Obviously, I need money just like everybody. We need to make a living. But the thing is that I won't sell my soul. I have already been in situations where I could have, when I worked at NBC, for example, which this is why I'm not there, or any of the mainstream media. And that was all the way going back in 2004. Okay. So before the whole social media thing, before even YouTube, and I stand my ground. And I believe most Americans are like this. But again, who are we really when push comes to shove, when the money is like dangling like a carrot in front of the horse? You know what I'm saying? So this isn't a stream about trashing them, because my biggest question is this real? I know I've seen some documents of the indictment. if it's all true, but like we're not there. None of these media sources either. How do we know that it's not the deep state doing it? How do we know? We're coming close to the election. The Russian thing comes up again. Come on. I mean, cry wolf how many times? And then you realize there's no wolf. But then boom, when you're actually telling the truth, the wolf, right? He ate you up. You're out. You're gone. So, I mean, of course, Laura Chen, right? So she's, I guess her and her husband, they created Tenet Media. But like, don't tell me the fact that they're all saying they're victims. Oh my God. Look. If they're victims, if they're truly victims, where they take all this money, not questioning, knowing that even their views are not really paying their bills. I mean, it's just, they're not making money. And yet, it's an, ostentatious amount of money for you to be like, okay, who's this money from? They don't question it. They don't dig deep. These are the same people also that share the breaking news with you all the time, and how like people like Tim Pool, where I'm a journalist. I make sure I'm very thorough. Wow. But see, you're human and you're young, and you're finding out where the ego takes you, makes you make decisions that maybe you shouldn't have done. And now you're a victim, which, by the way, what kind of losers are saying that? Why can't they say something better? Like, I didn't do my due diligence. That's a possibility. No, I'm a victim. Really? So is it because that's what's acceptable, right? Because everything is, all you have to do is say you're sorry, or you're the victim, and then that's it, and cry, and then that's it. No responsibility, no accountability. These are the same people that want everybody else to be accountable, right? They're always preaching that. But I'm not surprised. I'm like, I remember when I found Tim Pool, for example, and again, whether it's Benny Johnson, Dave Rubin, don't even get me started with Dave Rubin, because I've mentioned it before. The fact that he used a surrogate to have kids with his partner, and they both used two different surrogates at the same time so they would have the kids together. I mean, dice it as you might, however you want, or label it. It's human trafficking, okay? And there's a bunch of information, look into it, that how surrogacy is a very dark thing, okay? But of course, some celebrities do it, or many of them at this point, and then it's like, it's okay. They make it look like it's okay. It's so cute. Not to mention the contracts that they have with the surrogate mothers, right? And the NDAs that they have, because God forbid anybody comes out and says the truth. Because if you really wanted to be a surrogate, you wouldn't even have to have an NDA. Like, why don't we ever hear about them? I mean, no. I'm not judging. This is not a judgment. These are facts, okay? A baby, when a woman carries a baby, a pregnancy, the cells of that baby is with her forever. How do you think that really affects them? Psychologically, just long term. The money that they get is not really that much, and it runs out really quick, because I actually happened to meet one. And that was years ago, when it was very new, like back in like 2010. Okay? Not like now, where it's all over the place and like, oh, look at her. Yeah, she can't get pregnant. Or she just doesn't want to have stretch marks. Or she doesn't want to look bad. And you're doing this other woman a favor because you're paying her, right? Oh my God. I'm telling you, nothing good comes from this shit. People need to accept the life that they chose, or how God made them, or how they were made, and be happy with themselves. But no, I mean, obviously, if you're happy with yourself, and you have all this money that supposedly buys happiness, then you wouldn't have to do all the plastic surgeries, all the Botox, men and women. And again, these people have no substance. And almost some of them, a lot of them, are soulless. They're truly soulless. Now, again, I'm not judging Laura Chen. Lauren Southern? Lauren Southern? I'm sorry I said it wrong. You know me, I'm always doing that kind of shit with my dyslexia. But Dave Rubin. Who's the other one? Let me say. Well, I'm gonna screen share. But before I get into it, I want to say hi. I want to see who's with me. So let me just take that down for a split second. I also want to, yeah. So it's Benny Johnson, which, I mean, the guy's been like called out many times on Twitter, aka X, about how he copies people and he doesn't give them credit. And I think eventually with one or two people, he's definitely like gone back and like, oh, here's the credit for you. So like these people, I just, like I said, I've listened to all of them and I'm like, what do you bring to the table? You know? And then going back to the Tim Pool, that what I was commenting about that is that how did I find Tim Pool? And it was during 2020, during the lockdown. And because it came up in my feed of recommended videos. Never seen this guy, never heard of him, nothing. And the only reason I even clicked on it is because of the beanie. And I'm like, and I saw like it had a lot of views. And so I go, what's this all about? Who is this person? What is this? Like the vibe I was getting was like, this looks stupid. And then I click on it and I really was shocked to see how many people actually watch live streams in that format specifically. And they would the live stream would be like 2 hours. And I'm like, wow. And then I saw the amount of money he was getting in super chats. And I'm just like, okay. And so I started watching to study him, to figure out, what's the format? What do people like about it? Do I like it? Am I into it? And I wasn't. And when I did click at other videos after that, I haven't watched one of his videos in at least 2-3 years. So this was I spent 3-6 months following some of his videos because it depended on his guest. And if I knew the guest or I was interested in like the subject, I would click on it. But then it got to the point that I couldn't stand this guy because he was contradicting. He was a hypocrite. He was emotional. I thought he was like a brat. And I think he interrupts people. I think he's rude. I mean, I can go on and on. Give me a second. I'm getting distracted here. Who's with me already? Let's see. Welcome, everyone. Hello, the Rational Texan. What's up? On Tim Pool, they just licensed a show that was already being made. It's a Timecast show. Oh, sorry. Timcast show. Here we go again. That's how I understand it. But Russians spend money. Is this the Russian government or Russian individuals? Very good question. Yes. Hey, Buzzacino, how you doing? Why, thank you. Thank you. Sure it takes one to know one. Who else is with me? Hey, was it R Ryan? What's happening? Ryan Rhinoceros? Hey, what's happening with you? This is what's happening. Hey, Sama. Evening, everyone. I don't know any of the people you're talking about. Well, you're not missing out, honey. The only thing for me, the big story, first of all, is it true? I'm not buying that it's true. See, just because everybody else and all the other, newspapers and everyone's, breaking news, right? I don't believe it. You can't believe anything anymore, right? But I just like when the truth comes out of how fucked up these people are and how if you're watching them, you're following it. I'm not telling you to unsubscribe, unfollow, anything like that. But like, seriously, we need to have more discernment of the people we follow and we support. There's plenty of people on this platform all over social media that are legit truth seekers, truth speakers, whether you like them or not. And they do deep dives, they do their research, and they get, shadow banned, they get accounts suspended or videos taken down, whether it's TikTok, you name it, right? And the struggle is real. And they just keep going because they want to have a voice. But you're being shadowed, like you're being drowned out by these people that are clearly being pushed. It's not because Tim Pool or Dave Rubin have such a great show. I mean, come on. Dave Rubin created Locals, which I'm on. Hello. A little plug in there. Join me right now. Support me. Support the channel. Keep people like us alive. It's $3. It's coffee. Come on. And I'm cheap. I don't go get, the super like fancy coffees. I get a regular coffee, honey, and usually black. Not that I don't like cream in it, but when I'm like trying to be a little more healthy, and I'm like intermittent fasting, which I'm not really good at because I love to eat. But, as you're getting, sometimes you just can't, you know what I'm saying? You just can't. You got to enjoy life. You never know when your last day is. You never know. Even when they tell you, oh, you got this much to live. Whenever they do. You know what I mean? Anyway. So yeah. Hey, Christopher, what? Let me see. Rintel. Man, I should have my glasses. Matter of fact, I was going to start the live with the glasses. Welcome. So glad that you became a member. Gay day, mate. Thank you. Welcome. That just made my day. That just tickled me pink. I just got a little butterflies. What's up? Yay. Okay. So, if you know me, I like to play around. I like to, again, live reactions with a love and humor. That doesn't mean that I don't mean what I say and that we're not serious over here on the Olga S. Pérez show. That's right. So, and make sure to click all the notification bells, because even when you do that, it doesn't always work. But at least it should help somehow. So I'm here for you. I've been helping people my whole life. I have a track record. These people, again, anybody can start a live stream, be a commentator, and anybody can be a journalist. Like when people ask the question, what really makes a journalist? Should they be certified so we know like the shills from the non-shills? Listen, anybody with a phone, anybody who can peek, see something and report it. That's a journalist. Period in the fucking story. It's not complicated. It's just tell the truth. So, right, with Mark Zuckerberg, come on. What's happening all over the media? Oh, Mark Zuckerberg now is saying that, oh, yeah. He basically already said it on Joe Rogan, right? During that whole thing, or at least around 2021. Now, he's covering his ass because shit's coming down the pipe, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it's because Trump wins, let me put it to you this way. Whether you are into Trump or not, whether you like him or not, whether you consider yourself a Republican or MAGA or Democrat, I don't care. At the end of the day, the media keeps lying. The majority of Americans, I'm going to say it. The majority of Americans are pro-America. Period. No politics, no sides. They care about their family. They care about their well-being like any normal, rational human. The people that don't like America, I'm going to say it. They're mentally, oh my God. I had like 3 different words that were going to come out of my mouth. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't. Mentally challenged. Because I'm not trying to be mean here, but if you do your due diligence, if you care about your own house, you are pro-America. You are pro wherever the fuck. You're pro-human. And then when you got the groups that are like, especially college age, which now would be like Gen Z, or was it Gen A now? Is it Gen A that it's already entering or not yet? It's definitely Gen Z, like in the 20s now. They're not informed and they're young, right? When you're young, you're idealistic, right? So, free Palestine, I'm totally for freeing everybody, right? I'm totally for pro-humanity and not killing anybody. It's just not necessary. Am I pro-Israel? Again, I'm pro-humans. You mind your business. I mind mine. We respect each other. No killing. And let's communicate. That's why communication is so important, because when you communicate, which means both parties understand, both parties try to understand, they compromise, right? But see, when you think that you're the victim, for example, then you'll find excuses for your behaviors. So this is in general, doesn't matter what country, ethnicity, religion. At the end of the day, we all want to live, okay? And we want to love and be loved. That's a fact, like everybody. And when there's an absence of love and unity, hate grows, fear, attacking, right? So that shit doesn't work. It just brings more fear, more attacks, more violence. And then when you're in that space, that negative, supercharged negative space, it's in our human nature too, to kind of lose it. And when you're at your worst sometimes, some of you, I'm sure you've already felt it, and some of you might have an experience in your future that really shakes your foundation to a core. And you'll find yourself doing things that you thought you never do. And I mean negative. So it's within us. But it's up to the sages, the wise people, the people that have experience, aka like myself. I don't know everything, which is why most people need to have some humility and understand that. But they're so caught up. Again, speaking about our conversation, the topic of today, Tenet Media. Let me share a couple articles and a video. Let's start with was it Garland? I guess like a press conference. But here we go. And I'm going to go back. You know me. I can go off track a little bit, but I'll come back. And you guys bring me back. You know what I'm saying? Without you, this isn't happening. I love you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for becoming a member. Okay. Let's see. Anybody seen this? Let me know in the chat. Let me go. Oh, hold on.
District of New York of constant. This morning, we unsealed an indictment in the Southern District of New York of Konstantin Kalashnikov and Elena Afanasieva, two Russian-based employees of RT, a Russian state-controlled media outlet. They are charged with conspiring to commit money laundering and to violate the Foreign Agents Registration Act. We allege that as part of that effort, RT and its employees, including the defendants, implemented a nearly $10 million scheme to fund and direct a Tennessee-based company to publish and disseminate content deemed favorable to the Russian government. To implement this scheme, the defendants directed the company to contract with U.S.-based social media influencers to share this content on their platforms. The subject matter and content of many of the videos published by the company were often consistent with Russia's interest in amplifying U.S. domestic divisions in order to weaken U.S. opposition to core Russian interests, particularly its ongoing war in Ukraine.
Okay. And as you can see, the title to this Newsweek post is Conservative Podcasters Respond to Russian Influence Allegations. Now, you know me, I gave it to you in a nutshell. They're saying they didn't know and that they're victims of this. You took that money, bitch. Okay? And you had no questions. So either you did know, right? Either you did know, but the money, and that's who you are. Done. Or you really didn't know, but you took money and not ask any questions. And you thought like Laura Chen. She has a very successful channel. I like the girl. I don't really follow her. I've watched some of her videos in the past. I think she does a great job. I think she's a hot, like, dork kind of a person. Like, I think her heart was in the right place. But then I find out today that she'd actually been working or had written articles for RT. And then also, I guess she was working for the Blaze, which I didn't know, but I found out. And then apparently they let her go, or they fired her, however you want to say it. And then, of course, I look up Tenet Media's, like, all their links on their website. And I had read it somewhere that their channel got suspended, which, here you go. That's what pops up. So I'm like, okay. But they're, hold on a second. Sorry about that, guys. Are you having any problems hearing me or watching me or anything? I'm not really. You're good, right? Everything's good? I do not know why I'm getting these calls nonstop. Don't appreciate it. And my phone's on silent, but this time I I took it somewhere else. Okay. Sorry for the distraction, ladies and gentlemen. So what do you guys think? I want to know what you think. I'm telling you, I don't buy anything straight out the gate. I just don't. It's like, who's behind this? I mean, look at the whole Trump thing with the misinformation. And going back to when I was talking about Trump, the complete thought I was having that I wanted to share with you about that is that most Americans are pro-America, and most Americans cannot survive in the current conditions. Inflation, the housing market, the whole nine. The price of cars, even the used ones, right? And sometimes we need a reshuffle, right? A redo. And things have to collapse for something new to sprout in its place. So whatever happens, whatever in the elections happen, whoever you're for, the Americans will win. Shit's going to implode. And then the true Americans and the strongest of us are going to stand up, prevail, and help everybody else around us, which is why I always say, if you don't have a community, make a community. If you don't know your neighbors, know your neighbors. If you're not already buying local, buy everything you can local. Don't support any major corporation. If you can help it, all of them. We're the lifeline. So it might be a little nuisance and annoying, but we stop shopping. We stop supporting. When we want accountability and we want somebody to really represent us, and even if whether Trump really represents us or actually will do what he said he's going to do, the market's going to crash. Like who doesn't know, who doesn't see, who doesn't even feel that that's coming? I'm preparing for a live stream. Hopefully I can do it on the 18th. The Federal Reserve have a special announcement on September 18th. Anybody know about that? So financially, I mean, I'm not the only person who will tell you, if you can't buy gold, buy silver, but you need something that's real and tangible, because the dollar is a debt. It's a note, it's a debt, it's fake. I was just having a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and they were talking about, they actually compared the current situation with Babylon. And I said, funny. And they know a little bit about the Bible. And I said, I'm like, dude, that's the whole mystery Babylon that the Bible talks about. Like, we're in it. So my friend in particular was asking about, like, how is it that if America's blessed, right? Or that God has a covenant with America and we're like his chosen, and him and I had already talked a while ago. I had mentioned to him that, did you know all the presidents are related? Who doesn't know that, guys? There's actually a YouTube video, I'm sure there's many, of this one girl. I think she was like 13 years old, and it was years ago, that she figured out that every single president except for one, and that was before Trump, right? Because she made this video and this discovery like 10, 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And so even for my friends that like despise Trump, like even any mention, I don't even mention him. And they'll be like, yeah, well, anybody is better than Trump. And I'm like, okay, why? Oh, because he's just terrible. I'm like, terrible and how? Like what? And they specifically are basically acting like he's just a horrible person. It's not about his politics, the government. And when I go into explaining these little details about, like, did you know, like, because he wasn't a politician, because he's not part of that group, because he wasn't, a lifelong politician like Biden. I'm like, did you just a little bit? I'm not trying to give too much information, because that's something you got to go and discover and research yourself. And of course, most people don't give a fuck. So I love when they have this quick opinion. And then I'm like, you didn't even do your homework. So like, I'm shutting you down. Like, know your shit. Right? But I go, isn't that funny? Don't you think that if you had somebody coming into office that wasn't part of your group, part of your club, and it was completely different than any other president, whether female or male, I don't care. Don't you think they would do anything possible to get rid of him? And that I'm sure they were shocked when he did get elected in 2016. But if you know me, you know that I don't believe that even that was facilitated. Oh, it wasn't. Whether it was facilitated through God himself, everything's written. I was just having a conversation with someone else too, also yesterday, about fate and how everything's written. And some people are fake prophets and some people are real prophets and conduits. And maybe some people can call them like they're anointed. There's some that are. You're going to tell me that I have been studying and working with people for over 20 years. Thanks to all the years that I've been working with people and studying them, and especially looking at things like astrology, regardless of whether you think it's a pseudoscience, it is not. Because you would have to take your time and literally decades to go, wait a minute, over and over again. You can predict somebody's future. You can predict exactly what's going to happen, the kind of job they're going to have. We're not talking about a future like a psychic reading. No, like your career, the people you're going to marry, the person you're going to become, how it's going to end, like your purpose, your mission, and then you actually fulfill it, whether you believe in it or not. And that's where people that have known me for over 20 years, and I said what I said 20 years ago, and they look back and they're like, oh my God, that's crazy. But of course, they're not going to believe me, initially. But when they look back, when years go by, then you're like, fuck. So is it fated, So the good news is the direction we're going is going to be good, but it's going to get ugly. Because a lot of people can't handle the truth and they can't handle hardship, especially Americans. Because you don't know what you have until you lose it. Or most Americans haven't really lived abroad, especially in communist countries, right? Or even countries with Sharia law. There's a lot about Sharia law that I like, that I would agree with. But again, I'm a loving person. So I'm always going to go and team up with people that believe in love and nurturing and support. You know what I'm saying? And I always use the same basic example because it's something that everyone can understand. And that's if you piss on a garden, what are you going to get? What do you think is going to come out of that? You nurture a garden, you give it love and attention, the sun and the water, what it needs. It flourishes. Not just it flourishes, the fruit of your labor. Not only does it fulfill you inside and out, and I mean like energetically, spiritually, but to have a tomato from a nicely fertile organic ground with all the love and sunshine, and then you talking to it. Yes, talk to your plants, people. Their energy. So regardless, energy is everything. Whether you believe in God or religion or anything, energy. So that's the other reason why I really wasn't, I heard about the Tenet Media. I don't know if I heard it. It might have popped up a couple months ago. And I was like, oh, again, probably was one of those like recommended videos. And it popped up and I'm like, what, Tenet Media? And I saw Tim Pool's face and I was like, oh, he did like another thing because, he has like different channels or different types of shows. And I was like, what's this about? And then I see all these people, all these influencers that are part of the Tenet Media. And I'm like, okay. And I'm telling you the truth. I wish I would have wrote it down. And I wish I would have just shared that thought with you guys. Or at least if I wrote it down, I have a date on it. Because I remember thinking, why? That was because you know me. I follow my instinct. I follow the money. I follow the truth. I follow my instinct. I follow the question, regardless of how crazy it gets. I question. When I'm out of questions, and I got some answers. And I remember thinking, why? Why do they have to do this? Why do they have to, collaborate like this? I'm thinking, are they going to make more money because of it? Because that's just more work. It's already hard enough to do one channel or one show, right? Even if you have a team of people helping you. I mean, that's a lot of energy. So I'm like, what is it? Like, is it like they were trying to be something like Turning Point USA? I couldn't figure it out. And a matter of fact, let's look at their website. Their website's up. Let's look at their website. And, it says Fearless Voices Live here. Okay, what? Like, was this another an attempt to be like Blaze TV? So instead of like Tim Pool hiring people for a show or Benny or Dave. Okay. So when you click the about, I'm not gonna play the video because I just don't have patience with the people because I know their energy. Their energy is fake. It's negative to me because it's fake. It's like I can't take you serious. I see all this ego. Charlatans. At the very basic. No need to insult. Just charlatans. And again, what are you providing? I mean, if you're providing just a space for people to go and bitch and have other people that bitch about the same shit, great. How's it working for you? So Tenet Media is a network of heterodox commentators that focus on Western political and cultural issues. Our goal is to support creators who question institutions that believe themselves to be above questioning. In our view, all issues du jour merit rigorous and honest discussion if one wants to come closest to the truth. For those interested in authentic coverage of the topics that matter most, Tenet Media is your home for content. Fearless Voices live here. Meet the talent, right? So we got Lauren Southern, Tim Pool, Tayler Hansen, Matt Christiansen, Dave Rubin, and Benny Johnson. Okay. All right. Like I said, I clicked the about. It's very, I mean, to me, this is like a facade. Just instinctual, just basic. That's it. Facade. I'm like, what? Okay. So, all right. So here's a talent. So it's just what is it? One page. Okay. Contact. This is home. I don't get it. So, now, like I showed you earlier, the YouTube is no longer there, but the Rumble is. Their network station, media is on Rumble. I guess their last post was 2 days ago. I'm trying to look to see if there's any lives. Was this live? Let me click on live. Oh, that was live for 13 minutes? That's weird. Something ain't right. Something ain't right, guys. Right? And if it's live, it's usually longer. Yeah, so let me click on one of them. Let's like this one, for example. Let me see. I just want to see if it's live and like what is the difference? Like, wasn't Timcast enough? Didn't he make enough money? Or was he using his name to help everybody else grow and get more exposure? I mean, I'm just saying.
They have this world. You're thinking about lots of to capture.
Okay. So this is actually on Timcast IRL set. Okay. Yeah. I mean, did you guys take the time to find out, like, is this all of them? So Tenet Media is just a place where all these influencers upload their content? Okay. All right. So again, I get like the whole Blaze TV kind of a thing happening here, right? Or not just Blaze TV. What's the other one? What's the other big one? Oh, the Ben Shapiro one. Which one's that? The Daily Wire. But here's the biggest part. So I want to know. So apparently these two Russians confessed, right? That they were making these influencers be pro-Russia or mess up our politics and our voting. Right? Right? Okay, hold on. Let's read this article. Or some of it. Let's see. Oh, what did I do? Oh. What is this? That's so weird. Sorry, guys. This is so weird. I don't know what happened. I'm just pulling up the article again. I must have closed it by accident. It was... Where was it? Ah. Guys, I'm sorry. But I'm looking at my history. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Check this out. Oh, that's what's happening. Why is it doing that? It's doing this like infinity. What are you doing, dude? I just want to, what is this? What is this? Annoying. Why is it doing this? Okay. I'm about to read your chats in a second, guys. Yeah, conservative media, Tenet. It's just the particular headline to this article that I wanted to get at. No, this isn't it. I don't know. I guess it's the same thing. It's like what to know about Tenet Media's Tennessee company linked to Russian propagandist. What I'm trying to find here is not only the article that I had pulled up, that I don't know why I'm getting that Xfinity shit going up there, but what exactly? Because I haven't been watching their shows. So you guys let me know. Did they? Were they saying these things? Because then that takes out the question that they're victims. Do you see my point? My whole thing is I'm not buying the victim thing. I'm not judging. I don't have all the information, but they're not victims. I see what happened. So I tried to use this. I uploaded this application and this like a virtual camera because I can't understand why my computer camera, the one that comes with the iMac, makes me look red. I'm not red, guys. And I specifically put bronzer on to minimize the brown, the red. And so I downloaded this thing called Camo, and it was working, and I was looking more normal, like realistic, until I make more money and grow and this channel grows and you're all supporting me and I get more members, then I could finally get a real camera. But for now, this is what we got. Because see, I don't get into debt. If I don't make it, I don't spend it. I don't borrow. Been there, done that. And took me a long time to get out of it. And so I live within my means, and I don't grow unless, you get the point, right? And I highly recommend it. It's the great way to live. No debt, no stress. Plus, I don't want somebody else to have me more enslaved to them. We got enough with the government, what they make us do, even just by going through the fucking airport and trying to get on a fucking plane that you pay for that's private. That's not government. Okay. So let's see. What do you guys... So, hey, OMZ1, welcome. Okay, where am I? Well, I don't know where to start. They are the ones in all the reset photos of the cities, and they are standing there doing the tuck. I must have been missing part of the conversation. Yes, Buzzacino, everything we say and do creates ripples in the pond of life, and eventually every ripple will hit something and bounce back to us. So positive ripples for the win. Yeah. Well said. Oh, we grow our own fruits here in Hawaii. Yes. Good for you. Welcome on Rumble, my friend. Make sure to smash that like button if you haven't already. What's up? Just because you're happy to see me, whatever it is, because you're supportive, because you're loving, because you're good, because I got you. That shit will never happen to me. There will never, ever be any scandal with me. I'm telling you. And if anybody accused me of anything and it's a lie, I would have the plenty of receipts to defend myself. And I would definitely never say I'm a victim. I would just call your ass out. So, page 900, something of the NDAA shows that the MSN can apply for special licenses for, money reimbursements for fake news only. If it is real news, they cannot get their money back. Look at my face. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look, I just don't like people taking advantage of other people. That's it. And people need to fucking make sure that who they're supporting, who they're watching. Even if you're like, well, I don't give them money. I don't super chat them. I don't do this. I'm not a member. Your eyeballs talking about them. And here's a question. I don't believe in canceling anybody. And I believe 100% free speech. Unless, of course, it's, criminal or like something bad against children, right? We know this. But how can you watch these people? How can anybody respect them after this? Even if they're victims, like, yo, your greed got the better of you. Come on. Be a man, be a woman. Why don't now more than ever, these influencers, now more than ever, have the opportunity of a lifetime to show up, to really show up and be the best version of themselves that will live with them forever. This is going to be their legacy. Jump off the wagon, Tim Pool, and stop talking about, I got a lawyer, all that. I mean, it's true. You should get a lawyer. Absolutely. Especially if you're accused wrongly. I mean, you got to defend yourself. Totally. You got the money? Absolutely. Fight for the truth. But you said victim. You didn't know. Right then and there, how can you take these people serious? What kind of businessman are you? I've known Tim Pool when I have seen some of his shows. Like I said, I haven't watched in a long time, but there was one in particular where he was pissed that the bank wouldn't give him another loan to buy another house. And he was like, I got the credit and I got the money and and I think it's because of my political views. He did not. He talked about it for a long time. He kept mentioning it over and over again, slicing that. He couldn't let it go. So again, I noticed, oh, you're so immature. Look, you're not letting it go. And look at your ego. I'm like, oh my God, dude, what the fuck? But now, what? You're going to tell me that guy that everybody's known that he always says, I do my research. Again, you used to be on the ground, Tim Pool. That's how you got started, right? That's where you should be, because you can't prove, no matter how much you research, that what you're reading is right, accurate, or truthful. So every day you're out there putting stuff out there as it's truth. And you're the expert in that space, right? You have the authority. So to know a guy that talks so much about doing all his research, and clearing the air and clearing stuff up and saying it as it is and showing his receipts and blah, 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 blah. It's boring. It's not interesting. It's fake. It's kid shit. And you're talking like you're a grown ass man and you really did some stuff. Am I still on? Because I did get disconnected there for a second. And I don't know if you guys can see me anymore. So yeah, YouTube takes down right-wing channels linked to DOJ Russian indictments. I mean, if they're wrongly accused, but based on the legal documents. But again, we know the DOJ, the deep state, they're corrupt. There's an agenda. We got an election. See what I'm saying? But again, whether we have proof, whether it's a witch hunt against these influencers, whether it really is Russians, I'm going to have to do more research and watch more of their content to see if there is anything that is supporting Russians and, undermining us, our country, and us, Americans, people. But, which is why I wrote in caps, big bold letters in red, victims, ? No fucking way. No victims at all. They are not victims. I stand my ground, and that's why I wanted to get on today, and I didn't even think I was going to be able to make it. That's been a crazy day. I kind of have like a slight headache. I'm just not my total best self. And I always try to be my best self with you guys. But I'm like, if I don't do it today, I don't know if and then I haven't done a live at all this week, and I don't like that. I mean, at least once a week. Of course, the more I get the support on my show, my podcast, then I could dedicate days and, because it's pay my bills. Thank you very much. Anyway, thank you for all your support, your love and support. But so, yeah, I want that to really resonate that I wanted to say it before more information comes out. I want to have that because you mark my words, they are not victims, and you will see. Regardless if this story is fake, the crazy amount of money that they accepted without a blink, they are never. So I already knew they weren't to be trusted because I follow my instinct. Not just whether I like you or your content or if your voice annoys me or whatever it is, like the beanie. And I mean, the guy, he whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like, man up. Take the stand. Do the right thing. Own your shit. The first step is to admitting and taking responsibility. Saying you're a victim is not taking responsibility. Let that sink in. Let that sink in because that's the true character of these people. When you find that's their character, they are not to be trusted. Regardless if you like them and you love the way they talk and they make you laugh, it doesn't fucking matter. If you found out a celebrity was a PDF file, and you actually saw video footage or pictures, you can't watch their movies ever again. It's not even about canceling them. It's been since the beginning of time. When somebody's found out, they usually get shunned. And I'm not promoting cancel culture. I'm not saying people should be canceled, but people should get choose what you eat, choose what you watch, and support those that truly have a noble heart. Not just what you want to hear or because it's just entertainment. It's time now that entertainment is a thing of the past. I'm sorry. Game time, it's over. Game over. Everybody got to pull their big boy pants up and get your panties out of the bunch. That's in a nutshell for today. I'm going to leave it at that. I wanted that to marinate. Of course, there's going to be another part 2, part 3 of this. And of course, like I was saying in my last live stream, I will be talking a whole stream just about Candace Owens and Andrew Tate. Because again, how can people not see that these people are not for you? That's all. I'm not coming after them. I don't wish them any ill. But that they are the authority in a space, that they represent Americans in truth? Bullshit. 100%. We complain about MSM, how fake and how sellout and money and na. The same MSM that locked us down, took away our businesses, our livelihood, our health. Did you guys hear? And I might not be able to tell you how many Americans died from the jab. Now, even that, is the research accurate? Are the numbers fudged? Well, the fact that you never hear about it. Most of us have somebody in our family or friend circle that is out because of the jab. But some friends in my circle don't really have anybody in their life. Or they at least, if somebody did die or died quicker, they don't want to admit that it had to do with the jab. For various reasons, and I completely understand it. It's human nature. But that's the thing. That's the thing. We can't face the truth. It's just going to get harder. That's all. That's all. It's just going to be harder for you. You accept the truth, you'll be able to navigate like a good captain of his ship. Before I head out, and I'm going to, I was going to do, you know what? I'm going to do a restream on locals, but I'm going to do it Actually, I'm going to do it today. I was going to do it tomorrow. I was thinking that maybe I'll go to the park and take you guys with me when I go shopping at the farmer's market and I get my tomatoes and you see all my little farmers and how we talk to each other. It's a lot of fun. But I just don't like holding the camera up. I need to get my gimbal. That's another thing. It's like, once I make more money and I can justify buying a gimbal, or you guys, hey, please feel free to gift me a gimbal because I'll take you everywhere with me. Absolutely. And I would be able to do more streams and more videos if I did that, where I don't have to be in the studio. I would do both. Don't get me wrong. I would do both. So, Sean Henry, welcome. Great to see you, Sean. Now, that's a locals man right there. A man who loves his neighborhood. Chinese funding purchasing of American land, all financed by mystery financiers. Yeah, you're right. And by the way, I was listening to one of the podcast episodes from Robert Phoenix, and he was talking about that. I don't know if it was, I think it was in his 15 Minutes of Flame on Rumble. And he mentioned how he doesn't think that anybody that's not American should be able to buy land here. Even in some other countries, they allow it. And you know what? I agree with him. I totally agree with him. I don't care. You're not an American. You're not paying taxes. You don't get checked in and enslaved like the rest of us with our social security number. No. Shit. I can get really strict. I can be very harsh if I need to be. And if I had to be if I was in charge, and I would even go as far as in order to buy land, you have to have the qualifications of what it takes to be a president. Like born in American soil. Like all those check marks, to say the least. To me, giving American land up for sale is fucking, I feel like it's a lower feeling than prostitution. And God bless those who do it. It is a profession. The oldest profession, right? So no disrespect there. In fact, I don't know how they do it, and I pray for them, and I hope they do well, and don't get harmed and stuff like that. But yeah, no, no. Get out. No, you're not buying my land. But again, why do people even sell the land? It's all money. We have to change. Our culture has to change. Our love for money. Fake money that doesn't buy you any happiness in the end. Can't even really buy you health. It could buy you the doctors, but not the health, not the happiness. Fundamentally, Americans, the whole world, but Americans, because most of the world has known America as the money country, the land of opportunity. But the heart and the spirit of America, where you don't sell yourself. We don't sell our land because that's a part of us. You feel me? I'm not getting political here. I'm getting deep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, join me. In about 5 minutes or so. You know me. I gotta take a quick break, and take care of those human needs. Join me on Locals right now for the restream, baby. Join me for the restream. Also, oh my God. So on Rumble, there's actually a little red button. You could press that button, baby. Let me see you over on the other side. Because here I hold back again because it isn't my company, right? YouTube. Locals, so far, they haven't gotten into me because I'm no threat. I'm really no fucking threat. It's just, at least, I don't have to change my PDF file words for the bots and shit. Because they can shut you down even in the middle of a live. You've seen it. You've seen that shit. All right, guys. Like I said, the link is in the description below. I also put it in the live chat. Thank you so much for coming. I love you. Much love. And like I said, about 5 minutes or so, join me on Locals. I put the link also at the end of this video for those who missed the live, you can always go back, replay, and join me and leave a comment over there. I definitely chat with you guys. That's totally personal. Everybody who in our chat, on Locals live chat, I'm with you 100%. It's all about us talking. Ask me anything. I can share anything with me. Pick my brain. Come over there and let's find the brighter side to all this shit. All right. Until next time. Like I said, see you on Locals. All right. See you over there. See you over there.